moving into the final segment, which is which manager is the next to get the 𝗬𝗲𝗂𝗀. Now, I've got a little bit of a shortlist here. We've got some teams who we think... why are you looking at me?
You say that word mental, mate. What's going on?
What, 𝗬𝗲𝗂𝗀?
𝗬𝗲𝗂𝗀.
Like getting 𝗬𝗲𝗂𝗀𝗀. If
Like
you mess with me,
come
I'll
back-
get some shoe.
What? It's like I come past Leeds geographically down, and it's just like words change. As soon as I've crossed the line of Leeds.
Now then. Sorry. Anyway, Arsenal are fine, Man City are fine, Villa's fine, Man United, I assume, is fine with Carrick, Chelsea fine, Liverpool, first one, chopping block, Brentford fine, Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, all fine. Bournemouth, I think, could be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
To be honest. Newcastle, 𝗕𝗕𝗃𝗃, trouble. Glasner at Palace, trouble. Whatever his name is at Brighton, 𝗕𝗏𝗃, whatever his name is, that young fella.
Good start for the vid, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in trouble. Farke's in trouble. Not Farke, Frank even, at Tottenham. I wouldn't write off Farke, to be honest.
I wouldn't.
I think we could include him. I don't think Forest will sack Dyche because they've already gone through 15 managers
We've got
this
to
season
talk
already.
about Dyche in here, definitely.
All right, we'll put Dyche in. And then none at bottom three will sack theirs. West Ham, Wayne. Burnley, I don't think will. What's point?
We'll talk about Parker, though, definitely, because that's
Parker
terrible.
will put in as well. And Wolves won't sack Edwards because he's coming for
We'll talk
championship.
about Edwards as well, because they're poor.
Genuinely. There's absolutely no world. They could lose every game for the rest of the year. They won't sack him.
So why would they keep him, though, for next season?
They brought him in for next season already. That's what they brought him in for, yeah.
Right.
They were already down, weren't they? So they're going for someone that's going to be a bit cheaper.
Do you not think Wolves fans are getting a bit impatient already with him, though?
Maybe, and I could understand it next year if they're impatient, but for now I wouldn't. What's the point? You're already dead.
Okay.
He's had everything
enough,
sold
yeah,
from
okay.
underneath him. When they looked like they were doing okay, and then they've said, we'll sell him to get some brass in for next year. Bring Armstrong in, for God's sake. Like, come on, man. I think Wolves and Edwards is fine. Do you want to go top bottom? Do you want to start Liverpool?
If we have to, yeah, Liverpool.
If we have to.
Talked about these enough. So we're
sixth in the division.
So we're predicting who we think will be sacked, not so much who we want to be sacked.
Yeah. Who you think will get the 𝗬𝗲𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀?
I mean, I don't think Arne Slot is nearer to the chopping block than the rest of these.
You don't?
No, because I think with Liverpool, it's obviously it's all results based, but with Liverpool, certainly we're really underachieving in sixth now. Not even in top five. You know, like when they say we've missed out on top four, it's like fine, top five, a little pity league position there as well. Still can't get in it.
Little bonus.
I know. So yeah, I think something drastic will have to happen in terms of us being knocked out. Certainly the Champions League, maybe even the FA Cup early. I'd say the Champions League's the big one. If we lose that next game against whoever it is, Atletico or Juventus,
Yeah, it's one of them.
I think he's gone there and then. But did you see so Liverpool posted this round table thing, very much similar to this, guys, if you're watching on visual. It was just much better, you know. The actual Richard Hughes was there. I think the...
What's wrong with this?
Chairman...
I'm chairman.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm the chairman of Barnsley.
Yeah. What was I saying then? Yeah, they put this round table out as this... It looked like a bit of a marketing ploy, to be honest. Get the fans on side. Almost them sitting side by side, Hughes and the manager. He's not going anywhere. We're backing this guy, which is interesting, isn't it? Not many clubs do that.
The thing that Slot's got as the advantage is that the Champions League in for a few weeks, and with the conversation that we have posed here, someone else might have gone before you even get to Champions League games. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So obviously, your league's gone. Yeah, you're out at Mickey Mouse, aren't you?
Yep.
Are you still in that thing? You're in what, last 16 maybe of the FA Cup, maybe or last 32 against
Brighton this
whatever
weekend.
it is.
They always
Yeah.
bloody beat us.
Oh God, yeah. You got Brighton. Yeah, I think he's got a couple of weeks slot at least, even if they lose them all. Even if you lose every game for the next few weeks, I still think he's got a bit of time. And he obviously won't lose all them games.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll beat Brighton, and that might keep him in for a little bit.
Yeah, but he's the only one on here where if you get knocked out of a tournament, you're probably more likely to go. You can look at Forest as well. If they get knocked out of that early on, you look at Dyche's future, right? Palace Palace as well. Newcastle as well. I mean, God, we've gone through quite a few here. I don't think Newcastle... I don't want to rush it with Newcastle. Do you want to go on to them now, or...?
Yeah, they're going to Newcastle now. If we're going like top down,
okay,
looking at it like that, Liverpool, even though Slot should be under a lot more pressure than he probably is, I think he should be under a lot more stress at the minute. Newcastle, I think Howe would be more likely to get sacked than Slot would mid-season. Liverpool don't strike me as a club that's just going to pull the trigger on somebody in the middle of the year. It wouldn't surprise me even if you go out of everything, if they let Slot go till summer, it wouldn't surprise me in slightest. And get rid of him and then just go for Alonso then.
Even if we get knocked out of the Champions League early?
Yeah, because it's like, then what's the point then at that point? It's like you've got no one else to play for then. They might go just keep him and then sack him for a bit cheaper in summer. You know what I mean? Unless somebody tries tapping Alonso up and they get wind of it, then they might think, do it now, sort of thing.
Yeah, I do agree. Not particularly a sacking club in that nature, but I do think if he was going to go, it'd have gone in Jan.
When was the last time he sacked somebody mid-season? Hodgson?
Yeah, don't sack managers.
10 years ago. I'm running absolutely ages.
I mean, the record is Hodgson territory, though. Like, the numbers are very similar of that.
Oh, yeah, he's rubbish.
Which is scary.
I still think he'll get to something. Newcastle, I won't be surprised to see him pull it quite early.
I do not think they'll sack him. I really don't. Like, if we're doing the definitive answer, it's definitely not Newcastle next sack.
But I think Newcastle fans, have quite a lot of say on what Board and that do. I think if Newcastle fans start being like, we want him out and quick, then I think they would sort of do it.
I really do. I think you can acknowledge a manager's doing bad without one of them sacks.
I agree, but Newcastle, the fans don't look. They're not happy, man. They're not happy. You can't be 12th with that team. You can't. They're so low down. I think I was a good manager, by the way, and I think there's a lot said about teams that give managers a time that you will find success with him eventually. But he's got to a point where I think he's taking them as far as he can almost. How I don't think they're going to challenge for bigger things like they want to with him. And this season's crap. They're not even going to get a European spot.
No, doing Europe every 2 years ain't helping.
No, it's not.
Then you play him twice a week, then you come back down.
If they're not in Europe next year, there's a lot of talk on tonali already. Bruno Guimaraes is going to get a load of interest. The better players are not going to be happy with. They might even Conference League. They're not going to be happy with no Europe. Jesus. And I think a lot of them might start pushing for moves. And if Newcastle think, we're not going to get into this and we're going to lose better players, it's going to propel us up, they don't want to sell to Man City in that now, do they? Which state that they're in financially. And if they're not in Europe, they'll have to. I think Newcastle might be one that does. I think they might win this question, mate. Seriously.
I think in terms of, I don't know. I'm very much an outsider. In terms of the relationship the higher-ups have with the manager, I think this seems like one of the more secure of the group here, to be fair. I think you can look at Burnley and Parker, by the way, in terms of that relationship there. I just don't think they'll sack him because they like him.
But my thing with Burnley and Wolves, these are managers for next year. That's what I think.
Yeah.
They're already down, so what's the point? They might get you back up. So I think they'll be fine. It'd be my fault.
Do you not think, if we're talking about next year, how for next year, no Europe, there's no excuses there for top 5. Go and do it, have one final chance at this.
I don't think they want to wait that long, Newcastle. I think they're already... Yeah, they got ahead of it too quick, probably, for our own good, to go and win something like they did and be in Champions League really, really early doers when they started putting all this money into it. But he got there really quick and then he started doing this. He's going backwards now rather than it being other way. And they'll not be happy. Newcastle aren't spending that much money and be willing to spend it in summer as well. Because they'll go big for it, you'd imagine. They'll not want to give it to him. I think they might pull trigger a bit early, me.
Who'd you get in, though?
That's questioning it. But, like, obviously, they might line Glasgow. So that probably goes against what I'm saying, actually, because they might sack him in summer and then just go for Glasgow.
I don't think they should at all.
What would they go for? You can say this about a lot of clubs.
That's why I think they keep him, to be fair.
There don't seem to be a lot of high-quality gaffers out there available at the minute, really.
I think Eddie Howe... My thing with Howe is, I really like him. He's very likeable, and when it goes right, it really goes right. You can really get momentum going at Newcastle, I think, with Howe as the gaffer. But needs to change something like now in terms of personnel, in terms of style, the boring, the bland, the easy to predict team. Like that Brentford loss, I said on the video the other day, I don't think that's anything new. I don't think the performance was different to other performances this season where they've won. Brentford punished them and they'll do that. They're a ruthless side and they have been this year. You need to clear out the deadwood at Newcastle. I look at there are a lot of English players there, by the way, in my opinion. Players he's shown loyalty to in the past. I really commend Howe in showing that loyalty and preferring players, but you've got to cut that tie, I think, now, because it's damaging for the players' reputation. Also, Newcastle, like, there's some players there who are not good enough to play for Newcastle. They just aren't, certainly not twice a week. In my opinion, the signings have been really poor. Wissa obviously got injured, but since he's not looked very sharp at all, he had a poor game
has been crap,
against Brentford. Wadtamatta started well, poor since. Elanga's been horrendous. You've got to say numbers-wise, certainly. They've not kicked on. They've lost their best player. How much of this can you reason with they've lost their best player? Very late into the window. But they signed a replacement. I don't think there's any excuses there. 2 replacements.
So you don't think I was going to get booed then?
I really don't. I can't see a world in which you get sacked.
So you don't think it's Liverpool and you don't think it's Newcastle?
I really don't.
For the next one. So you're looking at Palace then? Do you think they'll pull it now?
Ooh.
I think they probably should, but I don't think they will.
We've spoken a few times about Glasgow. I think we're different on that.
Yeah, because how can you actually let someone stay there who so publicly doesn't want to be there? Do you know what I mean? How can you players can't be buying into it, really. They must think, well, if he's going to go into something, what's point? What's point? We're going to have to impress someone new in 2 months anyway. So if I were a Palace fan, I think obviously it's different because he's won your first ever trophy and all that type of jazz. You've obviously got a lot attached to him. He's a very good manager. But I think Palace, again, maybe they want to line someone up in summer, so maybe I'm completely wrong again. But I wouldn't be happy with how he's speaking about him.
I agree with everything he said. Yeah, I agree.
But you don't think it's him then?
No, I see a lot of similarities between Palace and Newcastle. I mean, I'm looking at them here. There's 1 point between them. They've both won a trophy under the manager. The best manager ever? Both of them? Or in our lifetime, certainly, right? So how far does that credit in the bank get you? I think with both of them, I think it gets them beyond this season. I think Glasner will see this season out of Palace. I do think he has loyalties to some of the players. I think he's pointed that out before. I don't think he goes. I don't think they sack him.
Right. Can I just say, we're going to end up quite stuck here because we've said no for Liverpool, we've said no for Newcastle, no for Palace.
We won't.
Brighton...
I know which manager I think is next to go.
I've got an idea as well.
It's none of them three.
I think we've got a different one.
Okay.
I don't think it's Brighton either, even though, again, they're going to go for like long-term project with this bloke, aren't they?
You don't rate him, do you?
Not really. I think tactically they look quite poor sometimes, which you would not say about someone like Brighton. I just think they're so passive sometimes, and I just don't rate them as much as I should, because at the start of the era, well, I think these are going to be like bob on. I think they're a really good side. And I just don't think he's getting most out of some of them players that he should be. So you don't think it's Brighton either, do you?
I don't. I just think there's bigger problems at other teams.
It's not going to be West Ham, Burnley, Wolves. So the last three are Tottenham, Leeds and Forest as someone that could get a boot.
I think we've got to talk about Burnley, though, later on, to be honest.
I'm telling you, they're not going to sack him. They won't.
No, I agree. I don't think they will sack him because I said before, the loyalties. And I was doing a bit of research on this before. They got this guy in, didn't they? 2020. I forgot his name already. It's a short name. Burnley, yeah. Chairman. No, hierarchy.
Oh, God, I can't remember now.
What the hell is it? We've got a short name. I forgot. So 𝗕𝗿𝗵𝗏𝗏.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you look at that now, you're kind of like, all right, fine. There weren't long to go, were there, in that season when he got binned off. They went down. Then Company came in, did well. Binned off.
Yeah.
This guy's now here, not binning off. Why is that? Why is that?
Because I think they maybe learn from the mistake that Burnley have just got to accept the cycle that they're going to be in, which is if you keep this manager, you will get promoted from Championship, but he will never keep you up. And I think they're in a position. I'd have said the same about Leeds, to be fair, with Farke in summer. But if Burnley go down, you would then, if they had no manager and everybody available, you would go for someone like Parker because he will get you up.
But how negative is that? The problem with that is, I would entirely agree if Parker came in January, did crap, you go, oh, he's only had 6 months, we'll keep him. Yeah, perhaps, yeah. And your point about him being the next season, preparing for next season, would work in Burnley's case. But Parker's been here the whole season and last year. Look at his record, what he took Fulham up, right? Took Fulham up, went straight back down.
Yeah.
Took Bournemouth up, got sacked after 8 games.
But it's just the position that they're now in.
That's such a
they're
poor
going to go
record.
down, even if God himself comes down and starts managing Burnley. They're going to get relegated.
So what's the point in coming up then? You've got to show some ambition.
£100 million.
No, but you've got to show some ambition, right?
Yeah, but
so
maybe
negative.
they do that in
They were down
18
already.
months' time. Do you know what I mean? Once he's gotten promoted again, maybe that's where in summer, like Leeds were going to do with Farke, he sort of just, right, thank you, you've got us promoted, get out.
But they said the same when Company took him down. Oh, we'll just wait for 2 years and we'll be... Sorry, I think something's going to change now, and they should have sacked this guy a while ago.
So you think anybody could keep this Burnley side up? You think anybody could do it? So what's the point? You're going to cost millions in payouts.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you millions in payouts for someone like Burnley, who next year have got a real chance at finishing top of division, really.
Next year. The thing is now, he should have been sacked for me months ago.
Yeah, he should.
But we're actually at a situation now where it's almost better off keeping him.
Yeah, exactly. That's
because
what I'm
you're preparing for next season.
But that's why I don't think they'll sack him now, because what's the point?
Neither do I. I said the loyalty that they're showing to him is weird, to be fair. It's negative, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. They should have sacked him a long time ago. But I'm telling you, this time in 2 years, we'll be sat talking about him in Premier League again. They'll come back up again.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it in 4 years. They'll back down,
yeah.
back up again.
Yeah, I agree with that. So no Burnley, no Wolves, no West Ham. We've got Tottenham, Leeds and Forest left to talk about.
Yeah.
And you think it's going to be one of these that gets booed?
Yeah, it's not Leeds. Not Farke.
I don't.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
Can I just say, no,
Leeds
seriously,
fans, tune into this guy.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will be Leeds, but I won't like completely write it off. I don't think Forest will sack Dash, and I think you're going to say Dash.
No, I'm not.
All right, you're going Frank then. Right,
Yeah.
I don't think Forest will sack Dash because them players are literally not going to know their ass from their elbow if they keep getting a new manager with a completely different style. They need some sort of stability somewhere.
I agree.
That they never get. What is this, the third manager this season? They cannot. I'm not being funny. They can't afford to sack another gaffer and bring someone else in. I've no money left.
I agree they need stability, but I don't think that means this has to be the guy to do it.
I think they might sack him in summer. Even if they stay up, I think they might sack him.
I think that's why I've not gone Forest. I think this window was really negative. I think it showed a lack of ambition and leaning towards Daesh being gone in the summer, rebuilding, chucking a lot at it.
Yeah,
then. That's what I think. He plays bad football, really bad football, negative.
Yeah.
The fans aren't on side straight away.
But I don't think he's the one.
But they play some of the worst football in the league.
Yeah, I agree. Leeds, I think, could be more likely to sack Farke than Forest would. Daesh, personally.
Okay.
I think, and to be fair, I don't think Leeds fans unanimously are all convinced on Farke anyway. Still, I think a lot of them probably wanted him to go in summer anyway, based on what he's done in this league previously, which has finished 20th every single time.
Yep.
He's never had the budget that Leeds have got, in fairness, but it complicates things a bit too much. I think it's clear that Leeds need to tap into being a very big physical side. And he does that, but then sometimes he'll change to a more like tactical, like boots on ground sort of thing, play it out from back of it, and they're not good enough for that. And he constantly like alters between both. I think if Leeds go on a bad run from now to say, when we're talking about the run that they've got, I think they're sort of looking for a reason to be like, right, we can get rid of you. I really do. I would not be surprised if they go on a really bad run, they lose the next like 4 in a row or something. I think they might pull then. I really do.
Do you think he held on to his job by a thread in the summer for this season, going into it? Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, definitely.
Big time.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I thought they should have sacked him anyway in summer and gone for like a bigger name that could play pantomime of what Leeds is. I think obviously at the time there were a lot of talk about Mourinho. I think I'd have gone for that, mate. If I were a Leeds fan, I'd have wanted someone like that. And I don't like Farke anyway, to be honest.
No. It does come across quite unlikable, doesn't he?
He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
So you think then that Farke is the next man gone?
I think Thomas Frank,
even.
among all these, Thomas Frank is the next to go.
Okay. To be honest, I agree. I do think it could be Leeds and that'll be my second choice, but I think Frank will go first.
Yeah. Well, let's just say this. He should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that as well.
He's doing the worst job out of everyone. The numbers are below.
I don't know. They've improved on last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. But the thing is, that's what the owners will be looking at. That's what we've improved and we won Europe final last year and absolute nonsense. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're not going to get anywhere near close to winning anything. And I think that when you're in, obviously Ange had the luxury of being really far into a tournament, they ended up winning. So you could almost offset the fact that you're 17th. If Tottenham are out of everything quite soon, that in the next few weeks they could be out of everything. And then they're still 15th in division. They might be lower by that point. Then you're thinking, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I think if you're a Tottenham fan, you'd almost rather not be in the top 5 in the Champions League. Like, genuinely. Because it kind of implies, they're doing it on the world stage there at a high level. I think the 5th or something, like Liverpool were about 4th. And the 15th in the Premier League, that's what really matters. All well and good saying we could go far in the Champions League, give it a good run here, maybe quarters or something. The reality is you're 6 points off the drop. That's the reality.
Yeah.
You need to stop that right now because it's only going one way. The quicker they get rid of him, the better. I think actually Pochettino will be next in line for next season, to be fair. I think so. I was speaking to mate the other day, he reckons so. Did that interview, didn't he? If you saw a bit of that. And
I thought they'd have been lining up Glasner, mate. I thought they'd have tried him. Or do you think Glasner goes Newcastle, Poch goes back Tottenham? We see a lot of that going on.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't think he suits them, Tottenham. I think Poch is the right move, by the way. I do. You go back and look at Poch.
No, he nearly got relegated last time.
Did he?
Finished 17th.
Poch.
Oh, Poch. Sorry, why am I thinking of chuffing Ange? Sorry.
No,
yeah, Poch. I think. Oh, yeah.
When you
I'd
look
go for
back
that.
at it, you go, wow. Maybe underachieved there. Maybe should have won something. Well, definitely should have competed.
But we can't. Yeah, they got to a Champions League final
and won something there. Definitely. When you look back at it, think that all the managers have churned through. Could they have just actually backed that guy? Same with Ollie at Man United. Really, if you look back at it, could they have just backed him?
Yeah, hindsight's wonderful, though, isn't it?
I know exactly.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think Frank will be the next Premier League manager sacked.
And I actually think I agree. And I actually think with Frank, it's not who do you get in. It's can we just get someone in now? I don't
just
I don't
anybody.
Care who they are. Genuinely anyone.
I'm not bothered. Just bring
it can't be
someone.
worse. It can't be worse.
Yeah, I get what you're saying completely.
I think in interviews as well, I must imagine Spurs fans are like, what is happening here? Where's the direction?
Yeah, it doesn't help him send, does it?
No.
Then he said that about the Romero stuff. Like, I actually don't think he's that rash. He's got most red cards for Tottenham in Premier League. Oh,
Yeah.
has he? I didn't know.
I know.
Like, well, you don't help you send, do you, really? His
No.
PR guy's crap.
Yep.
But yeah. Happy there?
I am. So should we do like a time frame here? How
What? When you think it'll be?
Yeah. So who have they
Oh,
got
okay.
next?
Newcastle and Arsenal at home.
It could be in 2 weeks.
Then Fulham away. Then Palace at home. Then Liverpool away.
Okay, so
They've got Champions League still to come in at some point, but they're out of both domestic cups.
Newcastle at home, they could get a win. I honestly think that. Honestly.
Yeah, they could. I reckon I think he gets sacked in March. I reckon the next manager to get sacked in Premier League is Thomas Frank in March at some point. Next month.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm looking at games that could mean something, a bit of jeopardy on the line.
Thing is, we don't know when the Champions League games are yet, do we? Like looking at it like that. So I don't know when to look at it. But I think if they lose and go out to Champions League, then I think they'll get rid.
I think the main argument for Frank not being sacked is if this interim comes in. I think it's 𝗖𝗵𝗲𝗂𝗂, Liverpool's assistant from last year. He's there as assistant now.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes in as interim. I don't know. How well would he do in keeping Spurs up? Because that'd be the job he has to do.
You're going to keep Spurs up regardless, you'd think. But
then the argument could be, well, why don't you just keep Frank anyway? But I think the argument is, well, new ideas, freshen it up a bit.
you're 15.
Get a bit of confidence in there.
Yeah, you're 15 for Tottenham, man. Come on.
Yeah. Frank's my answer.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Bloody hell. All right, man.
Lose to Arsenal, he's gone. And Newcastle. Not reckon.
Still,
Imagine
no.
imagine if West Ham win both the next games and Tottenham lose
If
them.
Tottenham ever,
My
from
God.
now till end, going to bottom three, then I could see him getting sacked immediately.
Yeah.
God, can you imagine like 30-odd games played and Tottenham in bottom three?
It's been a good league, this. Like, there's a lot of talking points.
Yeah, there's a lot to
Mainly
fight
at the
for this
bottom.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Arsenal and City could go to wire. You never know.
Even the top four race. Yeah.
But please let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, 5 stars, all that jazz. Thank you very much for listening. And obviously, we'll be back next week. And if you're watching on YouTube, then like, subscribe, hype vid, all that type of shit. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Love you. See you in a bit. Goodbye.